Welcome back, everyone, to the Forgotten Circus. So this is going to be my Miss Minutes segment. So I'm going to go over why Miss Minutes is so important, more important than we know.
How would you like to win?
And if y'all don't know who Miss Minutes is, she's an animated character that's inside the Loki world in the show. So I'm going to be doing a lot of Loki videos. Miss Minutes is more important than we know. First of all, let's talk about who Miss Minutes is. We already know that she's an animated character. She's a clock. She's got like Mickey Mouse hands, Mickey Mouse legs and feet, right? She's a part of the TVA. She is the TVA. She was created by He Who Remains, a.k.a. Kang, one of the variants. So she's been there since the beginning. So think about Miss Minutes kind of being the HR department of a company. She knows everything. She knows which timeline started, which timelines ended, who got pulled out from the timeline. She knows it all.
Wait, aren't you in HR?
She's very important, and that's why they're searching for her. So in the first season, you haven't seen her at all. You've only heard about her in this season. But in the first season, you saw a lot of her. So if you haven't watched the first season, go back and watch that because she's very important. She may be more important than He Who Remains himself.
He Who Remains, a jerk.
And that's why she's gone in hiding. You can think about her. You can think about Miss Minutes with that Southern Belle voice.
Miss Minutes.
You can think about her. Think about the Matrix, right? And Neo had the Oracle.
Bingo.
I think it's going to turn into Loki's got Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes is like the Oracle from the Matrix. So we know the blast doors are closing. There's a lot of stuff going on in TVA. They need Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes knows everything. But can we find her? She's on the run for a reason. So let's think about it. If all the timelines they've blown up most of the timelines and they're starting to all blow up because they put all the bombs out there. What's her name? Lady Aaron. I freaking hate her now. Jeez. Whatever. But the only person that can open all the that has all the codes, knows all the procedures, how everything works in the TVA. She's been there. She's been at the end of time. So she knows. Is Miss Minutes. So I think that this is my theory. I think that Miss Minutes, they're going to find her. It's going to take a little bit because she does take a liking. Her and Loki have this love-hate relationship that I'm pretty sure can be worked out. I want her as a member of the team. She's the only one that can open up the blast doors to actually get so they can use that machine. The OB's machine that he made to open back up the timelines. And she's the only one that can do it. And I think that's awesome. I think that's great that an animated character may be one of the most important things in a live action show. But how are they going to find her? Where are they going to find her? Because obviously she's slipped up a lot. Now you would think that with He Who Remains, she was totally loyal to He Who Remains. So she's not gonna budge. But there was in the first season, she slipped up a lot to Loki, Mobius, and Sylvie. She slipped up and was like, "Oops, gotta go, gotta run." Yeah. So I don't think she's totally tied to the TVA. I think she's just her own entity, and she just happens to be in the TVA because if you think about it. She can move outside of the TVA. Now, this is one of my crazy thoughts. She can live outside of the TVA. She can move basically wherever. She could just pop up. Is she a program? I don't think so. I think she's more than the program. She's something else. Because if you look at in the first season, when, spoiler alert, when He Who Remains got killed by Sylvie, when they were going there, if I'm wrong, correct me. But she was there because she was talking about this is the end of time. like when they're growing up in the elevator. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure she was in that episode. Isn't that outside of the TVA? Because the TVA in the End of Time, where He Who Remains castle or was that, and then you had what is it, Goliath, that was already there. So she actually went out of the TV because it's almost like being, but she wasn't pruned or anything, so she can go back and forth in between. Isn't that going to be insane to see her like in the real world with Loki? She's going on the missions with him, going through the portal too, and she's like, I don't need to go through the portal. She has all the records of everything. They really need her. So important. She could be the key. And if she knows every timeline, she can open up the timelines. She's almost like He Who Remains himself, but with, I guess, less free will. But what I want out of this season, and I know we're probably not going to get Loki seeing Thor. It's not going to happen. But I want Miss Minutes to be able to open up a timeline. She opens up an extra one, and Loki asks her, "What's that one? What's that timeline?" This would be so great. And she's like, "Well, we got a couple minutes. You might want to go there for a little bit, just to say goodbye." Loki's like, "Say goodbye to who?" She's like, "Just go. I'm going to send you the coordinates." He gets the little, what are their little boxes called? He gets that. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting what they're called. They're little teleporter things. But he uses that, and then he sees Frigga. And he gets the proper goodbye. Because remember, Loki was not at her funeral. He kind of was indirectly kind of responsible for her death, even though Malekith kind of cheated. That was a bitch move, because she definitely beat you one-on-one, Malekith. Let's be honest. She could have taken your life right there, but she had to have your friggin' roided out World of Warcraft elf stab her in the back. Yeah, that's a man you are. Just Miss Minutes to open that up and be like, just go to this timeline really fast. We're figuring this out right now. You got a little bit of time. So he can get the proper goodbye to Frigga. Because she loved him unconditionally. And I think that would be good for the show. And it's a really short scene. It's not going to take away from anything. And she could say something like, "I'm proud of you. You are my son." And he could say something like, "I love you, Mom." And then he goes back. Get that one. He needs that one final goodbye. Because I know him and Thor are going to meet up sometime in this whole Kang Dynasty saga. They're going to show up. And Miss Minutes is going to be so important to all this. Wouldn't you like to see a scene with Miss Minutes, OB, and Casey, like picking each other's brains on how to fix something, fix a timeline or something in the multiverse that's going? She's so important. She has the records of everything. But is she going to be on their team? That's the thing. Because we don't know. Miss Minutes was with, literally, Miss Minutes was with He Who Remains since the beginning. Before all of them were brought into the TVA, she might have had some hands in selecting some people to be part of the TVA and erasing their timeline. So this could get a little sketchy with Miss Minutes. She definitely probably has some skeletons in the closet. Because she's seeming like she's more than just a clock with a southern accent. But we'll see. I don't know. Tell me what you think. That's just hopefully I didn't get off topic a little bit about some things. I just wanted to tie it in. But tell me what you think about Miss Minutes and why she's important. And what are your theories on Miss Minutes? Because it's another mysterious character. I should have done a what if on it. But I'm going to do a what if later on Loki becoming a frost giant again, becoming his true form. But anyway, tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I want everyone to subscribe. Everyone.